Rumble races were added to Need for Speed Unbound as part of the game's Volume 2 update, which released in early 2023. This update introduced several new features, events, and improvements to enhance the game's content and variety, including the Rumble races, which brought mixed surface racing into the gameplay and is the topic of today's video. Though it seemed to be popular within the community at first, it soon died almost as quickly as it came, and it seems in this age of Unbound you could go through 100 different free roam lobbies and it won't be put up by anyone, not even once. So what happened? Why did Rumble fail? I'll be going over a few reasons I personally think it failed and why Criterion could use this as a learning lesson going forward, especially for the next Need for Speed that will be coming up. If you all enjoy, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Also, I am getting back into my stream schedule, so if you guys like live content, then check me out on Twitch as well. With all that being said, let's talk about Rumble. One of the biggest things that can make or break a game mode in Unbound are the tracks and the playlists that accompany it. This is one of the biggest things that racers, competitive and casual alike, look forward to, and the experience of even participating in the event itself is 99% dependent on what players will be driving on. Unfortunately, this game mode took a very big L on this very early on. Rumble was released in Volume 2 in March 2023 with 2 playlists only, each with 3 races. It is November 10th, 2024 at the time of the making of this video, and Rumble still only has 2 playlists in the entire game. Yes, I went through the entire game's playlist to try and find more, but there are none. To make this even worse, both playlists are mixed playlists, meaning that Rumble does not even have dedicated tiers for racers. Going through both playlists, the 6 tracks are at best average and at worst exceptionally bad. There is zero flow for a majority of them, especially ones like Rock the Boat, available for B tier, and Terradome for the tier of A+. Additionally, when playing through all these tracks, they seem to be copy and pasted from the takeover events from the story mode and put in the areas where racing wouldn't even make sense. In the aforementioned Rock the Boat track, you literally drive under the supporting structure parking area for a building, and the entire track is just circling said building for 3 laps. Ramps are placed in very weird or just blatantly bad locations. Checkpoints are either super close together or hidden behind structures, and the tracks tend to be very cluttered with a lot of unnecessary objects. I get that they are a part of the map, but majority of them serve no purpose, and the ones that do, such as the pipe tunnel things, are more annoying than helpful. Also, for some reason, a lot of the races take place at night. That isn't a super big issue, but just thought I should throw that in there since there is a little bit of the visibility that can suffer. However, that may just be me with bad eyes, I guess. Overall, there is a very limited amount of races for this mode, and the ones that are available are not great in any way. When a racer hops on the game, the importance of a track being good is what will keep them playing. Another thing about Rumble is the weird combination of racing on road and off-road on the same track. I believe it would have been within Criterion's best interest to have an off-road oriented game mode be completely off-road. If people are dedicating cars and money towards making a car perform better off-road, why is half the race not even off-road? You have a car, or few, that were built for off-road but only 5% of the track is off-road? It seems they were trying to go for pleasing both audiences type of thing, and because of that, they ended up not pleasing either. At that point, you would just be better off not even spending money and just taking out a regular car, which for some reason you are allowed to do. If Drift Pro would not allow you to use anything else, why are you allowed to use cars without off-road parts on them in any off-road dedicated playlist? These bad tracks and their standalone issues, alongside the fact that they are only available in mixed tier playlists, is one of the biggest reasons I believe this game mode failed. The next thing is the lack of support Rumble has gotten, day one and continuously throughout the game's lifecycle. As said before, Rumble was put into the game with 2 playlists. To put this in perspective, there are 12 Drift Pro playlists, 6 Gauntlet playlists, 18 Hot Pursuit playlists, 14 Stock Car playlists, and 9 Drag playlists. All of the things listed were added after Rumble and have more playlists than Rumble. I chose to not even include the race playlist for the tiers themselves because I think you all see the point. In the actual volume itself, 4 new endurance races were added, 2 new street playlists were added, and a pair of entirely new standard playlists were added. Rumble is a brand new game mode, and you are telling me that on day 1 of the release, it has the same amount of playlists that an update to an already available game mode gets? Every single new game mode that has been added to Unbound has come with 3 or more playlists. In fact, the original Drift playlists were added into the next volume, and they came standard with 3 new playlists, 1 more than Rumble. This game mode has not been touched since its release more than a full year ago, and I believe the community has taken note of that. In order for something to maintain its place on top, it needs to have continuous updates that encourage players to want to keep doing it. New races have been added for playlists, and that keeps players engaged. New Gauntlet races were added and that kept Gauntlet alive. Even new stock car playlists were added and that kept that area alive. Everything has continued to be updated by the dev team except Rumble. Majority of players have already played on these tracks as said before in the story mode. Why would you not give them something new to explore? It isn't like the map doesn't have a bunch of off-road places that tracks could be placed in. In fact, if you pay attention to a few of the on-road tracks they have off-road portions that could be turned into full Rumble tracks, but weren't. Off-road parts are used more now to decrease the level of performance points for a car to fit more power into it than their actual use. Why not give Rumble races proper tiers instead of just mixed events? If they could turn boring countrysides into fun events like link-ups, then surely they could have done more for Rumble. Bring more eyes back to Rumble. They added PvP in one of the newer updates but didn't include the option to have a Rumble playlist or two, since there are only two, cycle through at least once a week? Why not add a new car that is built for off-road and will bring into the game a new set of off-road parts? True, we do already have off-road parts, but we also already had drift parts as well, and now we have Drift Pro. Why not add a new handling model that makes cars act truly different on dirt with the new off-road parts? Maybe they could have added a few challenges where you win Rumble races to unlock more body kits, tire smoke, and even exclusive cars that would be locked. There were just so many opportunities they had to make this game mode great and they just didn't. One final thing that I think led to the failure of Rumble is the fact a lot of the community did not and probably still does not like off-roading in general when it comes to Need for Speed. Where did I get this information? Go look on Reddit and you will find more of it for yourselves. Apparently people think I just pull stuff out of thin air since the Need for Speed community suffers from "if I haven't personally seen it, it doesn't exist" syndrome. But for those who are lazy, I have some screenshots of comments in the video for you to read. The main thing that I got from reading Reddit posts on the topic of off-roading in general is that they feel Need for Speed should stick towards its roots in street racing and keep things on the road. People feel that the development that went into creating the off-road tracks could have been put towards other things like creating even more racing playlists and new tracks. While I personally disagree, I can understand the frustration, especially due to the track record Unbound was on with the lack of true content. This even goes as far back as Need for Speed Heat and Need for Speed Payback, where fans described their frustrations with the handling of cars on dirt and the fact that the tracks were not designed well and seemed rushed. And to be honest, Unbound has not helped repair the relationship. This game mode also seems rushed and it seems a bit out of place. People will play what they have their heart set on. Did people even ask for off-road? The main things that were asked for are events that involved cops, and those seem to be active every single day. People could argue that Gauntlet has seen a decline, but my answer to that is that only happened due to Hot Pursuit being added to the game, which is essentially an upgrade to what was available. All that to say, Rumble may have been doomed from the start. How do you all feel about Rumble and do you still play it? I personally have not touched the game mode since today. It is sad to have them release something new though and then just abandon it. It can be compared to how Heat was treated if I'm being honest. Let me know down in the comments how you all feel. I am doing a lot better in trying to respond to all of them, so make your comment good. If you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.